The ship brought me back. I told you she won't let me leave. She won't let anyone leave. Did you really think you could destroy this ship? She's defied space and time. She's been to a place you couldn't possibly imagine. And now, it is time to go back.
I know. To hell.
You know nothing. Hell is only a word. The reality is much, much worse. Now let me show you.
Hello, Royals. Back at it again. We got a Vynnset deck tech for you. As you can see, this is the equipment. Then we'll start with that, and then we'll move on to the rest of the deck. Again, before we start, it was a pleasure meeting all of you at the Battle Hardened in Atlanta. Squire and I, we had a really good time, and it really did make our day meeting some of y'all, so we appreciate it so much, and we hope you keep following and liking the content, because we are more than motivated to keep going. All right, so let's get started. This is a pretty standard loadout for Vynnset. There's a lot of tricks here, but no like spice that's big difference per se. Like this all is pretty straightforward stuff. A couple of the sideboard pieces come down to preference and what your meta looks like, but other than that, this is pretty straightforward. We have Face Purgatory. This card is absolutely nutty for Rune Blades. Whenever you block with an attack action and a non-attack action, they discard a card and you draw a card. And as you can see here, it blocks for 2. So pretty great card. Yeah, not much else to say. Tunic, we all know what that does. It's a pretty iconic card of the game. Gain an energy counter every turn. Gain a resource when you have 3. Vexing Quillhand. Yeah, destroy it, make 2 Runechants, go again. Arcane Barrier 1. Pretty standard hand piece for Vynnset at this point. Basically, your get out of jail free card. Not much else to say about that. Really great staple arm piece. Like every Vynnset should play it. Spellbound Creepers. The arguably most expensive card in the deck. A lot of text here. I'll hold it up here so you can pause it if you really want to read it. But basically, you can play non-attack actions as instants. Allows you to cheat around and make some really nutty turns possible. This weekend, I presented a 29 to a CYB new. Almost out of nowhere because of this card. So it definitely opens up some crazy lines for you. Flail of Agony. Pay a life, present 1 to them with an on-hit. Pretty great. Nice way to trigger your Deathly Whales and stuff. Grimoire of the Haunt. This is the only offhand that I'm running. I know a lot of lists run Bloodied Oval, but I don't care about that card. Most of the time, this is just Arcane Barrier. But at some points in the game, when you're really trying to push to the end, you can banish this, makes that Eloquence token, and get a bunch of action points off of Funeral Moons that you've set up. It's a good nice combo ending. So this right here was my inventory, I guess my inventory, quote unquote, for the Battle Hardened. Dyadic Carapace, you're going to play this no matter what. It's armor block when you need it. It's arcane barrier when you need it. It's everything you need on one card. Pretty straightforward. This is a wizard package. This is CYB. I came up to the Battle Hardened with 2 wizards, so I knew this was coming. There was quite a few Kanos there. I think my friend said like 5 or something. So, like, I'm really glad I went with this. I never played any, but I'm glad I left with it. Reaping Blade, CYB matchups are more prevalent than ever. This helps you temper that because you have the ability to control your life total. So, with blood debt and all that, so it makes this really strong. And it coming in for 3 for 1, sometimes I had some resources floating and I was able to send this at them, and it felt pretty good. Put them into situations they really did not want to be in. If you don't have a lot of wizards, I would drop the Grasp of Darkness and put in Carrion Husk. This is really good against Azalea. This allows you to stuff a whole turn on them and take tempo back at the cost of taking 1 every turn. So granted that matchup will never go to where you die from that unless you're getting like really beat up, but if you're stuffing a whole turn from them that they committed to, you'll probably have the tempo now and you'll win. Like, this deck outputs way too much damage for you to kill yourself with Blood Dead against an Azalea. So yeah, it's great card. Just very situational. Has a huge downside to it for you for taking the Blood Dead every turn. So just be careful with that. Okay, now we'll move on to the Runeblade. Runechant generation cards. So here's our Runechant cards. These are either Runechant generators or consistency pieces that allow you to generate Runechants. It's pretty straightforward stuff. We have 2 Runeblood incantations. At the start of your turn, make a Runechant. This does stick around for 1 more turn after its counters are gone. And that brings us into Deadwood Dirge, which allows you to destroy an aura you control and make 3 Runechants, meaning you can target this blank Runeblood, destroy it for 3. So this 1 card can, between these 2, can generate you 6 Runechants over the course of 4 turns. So it's pretty great consistency piece. Like, I've always been a fan of the Runeblood incantations. Old renditions of this list ran the yellow ones even, but I do think Malefic Incantation has beat it out. I just really think that this card is still a really big consistency piece. And but we cheated out in a little bit of a different way now with the Sonata. This allows you to search your deck for a Runeblade aura with cost X or less, put it in the arena and shuffle, but it costs less for each Runechant you control. Important to note, you generate a Runechant at the start of your turn every single turn. So this is live. Hey Royals, I'm voicing this over to make a correction. It turns out that Sonata Galaxia does not give you the action point for the aura that you tutor in. X will have to equal 2 in order for you to get the correct go again application. Thank you. Really great card, really great consistency piece. I've been a truther on this card since it's been revealed. A lot of people were not on this card. Big fan. I would go up to a 3rd if I could, but this deck list is pretty tight as it is, and you do suffer from Runeblade issues with this deck pretty bad. Funeral Moon. We all know what this card does at this point. If you've played Vynnset at all, this is almost a staple. You can play it from Banish Zone when you start the turn with it. If you've lost life at any point throughout your turn, or any turn, you can play this as an instant and you make a Runechant with it. Really great combo with Eloquence tokens, allowing you to cheat action points in at instant speed. So you can really okey doke people if they're not paying attention to what you're doing. Malefic Incantation, I do run all red and all yellows. These are really great cards for consistency. These allow you to make Runechants on the back end when you played an attack action card. So they're everything you want in an aura for Vynnset. Like, is this that's a huge consistency piece for you. So it allows so much with your stuff. Okay, next we'll move on to the utility cards. So as you can see here, we have Machinations of Dominion. This is basically go again on for your next Runeblade attack action. The Overpower is cool, but basically useless in most of this meta right now. Doesn't do a whole lot. It does block 3, so that's very important and why it made the main board cut over some of these other cards. It does not trigger Vynnset because it's just a Runeblade action, but that's okay because it's a blue block 3 that has some relevant text on it. So that's why I made the main board cut. Up next, we all know and fear this card, Succumb to Temptation. If you've been dealt arcane damage this turn, you can play this as though it was an instant. Or if you've dealt arcane damage, excuse me. The next time a Runeblade attack action card hits, look at their hand, choose a card, discard. Because you can play this as an instant, you can cheat go again on an attack with this, allowing them to continue their combat chain. That is a big part of this. Like, the disruption is very nice, but allowing you to cheat an action point out and RuneGate yet another card is big for this. I've gone 3 wide super easy because of this card. Up next, Beseech the Demigod. This is a really simple choose a card, give it +3, go again, shadow action. So it allows you to trigger Vynnset. This is a pretty just straightforward card. We like big numbers here on Royalty Card Gaming, so card helps facilitate that. Pretty simple stuff, like the sideboard adds a lot more to this deck, and we'll cover that towards the end. But right now, this is your default utility package. All right, so let's move on to the attack actions. As you can see, straight from the middle there, Deathly Wail. This is a staple card in the deck. I run all 9 copies. This card says, whenever the combat chain closes, whoever lost life, you get Runechants equal to the number of people who lost life this turn. That includes yourself. So if you do, like, a simple line with this would be either, say, like, shadow puppetry, or we'll use Beseech the Demigod in this example. You played Beseech the Demigod, you trigger Vynnset, you take a life, make your next Runechant unpreventable, and then you throw this for 7 at them. So it'll be a 2-card 10 that gives you 2 Runechants on the back end, allowing you to continue your next turn with 3 Runechants because you're going to banish a card at the start of your turn. And that covers basically everything in this deck except for this. Which, if you have another Runechant generator out, like that Runeblood incantation or a Malefic incantation, this triggers, you now can swing that too. So Deathly Wail is such a huge part of this deck. Like, it is the blue, that 2-card 10 was just with the blue, by the way. Like, you add in the yellow, 11, 12. Like, 2-card 10, 2-card 11, 2-card 12. Like, that is an insane rate. And you're guaranteed to push damage, and you're guaranteed to get your next turn off. Like, this is such a big part of the deck that the rest of this, while cool, adds a lot of tricks to the deck. Like, except for maybe these 2. These are raw damage, but still, like, this gives you life, this gives you eloquence, this takes a card from their hand, this takes a card from their deck, this takes a card from their arsenal. Like, those are combat tricks, sure, but this is like the backbone of your deck. A very important piece. Moving on to this, we covered this already a little bit. Deathly Delight. Based on how many heroes lost life this turn, you gain that much life. So you basically get you net a life out of the Vynnset trigger. We'll use Besiege the Demigod again. This will come in for 8. Come in, so 2 card 10 again, gaining you 2 life. So 12 points of value. All right. Phantom Banshee, raw, 3 rune gate, 7 power, 1 card 10. Like, pretty solid rate, if you ask me. Not too many heroes can do that in this game. This allows you to, if this is sitting in your banish zone, you could block with all 5 cards, present 10. Or all 4 cards, excuse me. If this is in your hand, you can block with 3 cards, send 10. Like, still way above rate, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Some of your strategies versus certain heroes like Dash and Azalea, like, it'll be like that. You'll block with 3 cards, banish that Runegate card, and throw it at them. And now you've blocked with 3 cards out of your hand, hopefully for 9 points of damage. Probably not, though, because you have a lot of 2 blocks in this deck. And then you swing 8 or 10 back at them, and you just keep trading back and forth until you have some kind of semblance of a combo going, and then you just murder them on the spot. Eloquent Eulogy. This is your cheapest Runegate card at 1, so that you could just raw, no rune chance, need to present something. This is it. 1 card 5. Not the best rate in the deck, but still pretty decent. Because if they lose life at any point, or you lose life, it's an Eloquence token. There are a lot of payoffs, well, I won't say a lot, but there's enough payoffs in this deck. There will be a lot with the new card coming out, Cull, which you'll want Eloquence tokens with that card. So this is more of a combo piece than it is raw damage, because all these other cards are a better rate than this one. It's just the Eloquence token is huge with this. All right, moving on. Widespread Ruin, as I said before, this is the one that steals the top card of their deck. Important to note with these, they also steal your cards if you're not careful. However, you can control this. So, like, if you somehow knew what the top card of your deck was, or you just living on a prayer, like, hopefully Nazareth has blessed you, because when you banish the top card of your deck, sometimes that counts as another Runegate card, and you have enough Runegate payoffs in this deck to where, like, you can swing that card. So, like, well, when we cover the Go Again package, it becomes very real for you to shadow puppetry into this card and potentially banish 2 cards off the top of your deck and play them. So, like, this has it's kind of risky, which, I mean, that's the theme of this deck, if I'm being quite frank. Because you do have a chance to banish cards that you can't actually use that have blood debt, and then you're just kind of taking blood debt. But you can't be afraid of it in this deck. Like, think of it as an extra part of your hand that you're paying for. And if you go in with that mindset, like, all of a sudden taking 2-3 points of life to have a couple cards in your banish zone doesn't feel so bad anymore, because you'll get there with the Runechant. It's just whether you'll get there fast enough. So, like, there was a point where I played a new where I had 5 Runegate cards in my banish zone, and I just drew all the cards that I needed to dump, like, 4 of those 5 cards on them at one turn. So, like, it's a thing in this deck. Like, you can do it. It's a little risky. You may take more life than it's worth, but being able to blow them out on that one turn can win you the game. So, like, it's all about how much risk you're willing to take, and this deck will go as far as you let it. So just keep that in mind. Widespread Destruction. This is the one that takes their arsenal, also can take yours, but Most of the time, it's just theirs. This is the card you play against, like, Rangers and stuff. Wizards hate this card, too. So, this is the one you want to see versus all of those. And then Widespread Annihilation. This is a very expensive Runegate card. But the payoff of banishing a card from their hand is good into every single matchup. So, yeah. All right, so let's move on to the sideboard. Start with the most obvious. Oblivion. This will be in every Vynnset sideboard. Sometimes you just get there, and having a Nazareth token on the board is a very big threat for every single matchup. It's just a matter of if you can survive long enough to actually do it. 1 in every 25 games will this come up and you get it. Like, do not count on it. Like, if you just have to kind of, one of those things, you just have to draw into it organically and be like, wow, I have 6 Runechants, let's cast it. Like, it's not something you can bank on doing. You are very prone to fatigue in this deck. So, like, it isn't like you can wait for, like, the second or third cycle to do this, even. Maybe the second cycle you could set this up, like, against certain heroes. But, like, this meta right now is too aggro and will probably never let you do this. Which is okay. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, summoning Nazareth, awesome. But you don't need it. You deal damage in this deck. Like, you push big numbers at them and wide numbers at them. So, like, you don't really need it. It's cool to have. The art's probably the sickest art I've ever seen, hence the playmat. Like, it's a good card, but it's very situational. All right, so over here we have the Go Again package. And over here we have the defensive package. I like keeping things simple. I'm a simple guy. Like, I like when I go, this deck already requires a ton of thought on your end. I don't like making things harder than they have to be. So do that with what you will. You can tailor it how you want, but when I go into a matchup, my only 2 questions I have are, do I want to block or do I want to race? One of those 2 things are happening. Sure, depending on the matchup, like, I might mix and match a little bit depending on what I know. But, like, generally speaking, when you're starting out with this deck, start here, build as you go. All right. We'll start with the Go Again package. Really simple. Tear Through the Portal. I've come around on this card, man. Like, a shadow action, so triggers Vynnset. Red action cards in your band. Important to note, action cards. So counts for Funeral Moon. When Call comes out, counts for Call. Like, it does have Go Again on itself. So one of the cool things you can do is creep this in, give that a Go Again. Choose another red action card in your banished zone, give that Go Again. Now you went 3 wide off of the Tear Through the Portal. So, like, it's pretty solid. Like, base value, you'd play this, trigger Vynnset, throw your Deathly Wail, your red Deathly Wail at them, and then throw your Flail. And that was still a great turn for you. You didn't even have to trigger the Tear Through the Portal unless you, like, really wanted to push the Runechant on them. But, yeah, great card, solid performer. Not as good as this one, though. Shadow Puppetry. Next attack action card you play gains 1. Go Again. And if it hits, look at the top card. You can banish it if you want. Being able to look at the top card of your deck is powerful enough. Being able to banish it if it's awesome, exactly where we want to be in this deck. Sometimes you just high roll the fuck out of people. And, like, that turn I told you about earlier against that new, like, it was because of that card. Like, I revealed, I think it was like the 3-for-7 one, Phantom Banshee off the top with a Deathly Wail and a Malefic Incantation on the board already. I was like, okay, well, we'll just make this hurt. And came out of nowhere with another 10 damage. Like, it, beautiful work. Revel in Rune Blood. We're pretty familiar with this card, most of us anyway. Attack action card, not on attack action card was played first. Create 4 Runechants. Break them at the end. Important to note, if you play this after a Deathly Wail, you should break the combat chain. It probably should it will anyway because it's an action card, but this will enable you to pop 6 Runechants out of nowhere, allowing you to play Oblivion and then continue on with your turn. And you've generated like so much value off of just that it's going to be a struggle for your opponent to kind of recuperate from that kind of value swing. So it's crazy business. All right, moving on to the defensive package. Sink Below. We all know what this card does if you played Flesh and Blood longer than a few days. Reduced to Runechant. Cost 1 less for each Runechant you control. Cute way to break Frostbites, by the way. And then it creates a Runechant and it blocks for 4. Haunting Rendition. I could have a whole video on this card. Like, this card did so much work for me at the Battle Hardened. It's not even funny. Like, this says, hey, Assassin players, your daggers don't mean shit. Hey, Ninja players, your daggers don't mean shit. Like, this card, and then it blocks for 4, but you'll probably never block for 4 with this. You'll probably always do this. Like, the 2 points of life mean way less to me than a Runechant. So, it, at worst, and this is a good card to have in almost every single matchup. Like, when I said earlier about mixing and matching cards, it's probably because I'm just adding this card in the deck on top of the Go Again package. Because this prevention does way more than you realize when you think about how much, like, Flick Knives is going to be great in this next set with Syndra. Like, how reliant some of these heroes are now on, like, their one Go Again weapons. Like, it has a lot at face value. It looks just like a kind of a mid card, but when you're actually playing with it, like, it does so much for you. Like, you can prevent the damage to yourself with this. Because it says here, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to you this turn. So you can trigger the life loss thing off of, like, a flail, and you block it. You block the damage to yourself, so you flail for free. And that card is pretty solid for a weapon. Like, paying a life for that, like, you have so much.
A few minutes later.
Hey, Royals. Thanks for watching my deck tech. Let's transition now into the gameplay video.
Usually not a good matchup for me, but we'll see what we can do here. Alright, Royals, let's see what we can do. Went first, so this should be simple. Got this view on. Pop that Succumb in there. Try and tag this guy with a little bit next turn. Kind of dead hand. Good thing we did what we did. Okay. okay here. Shouldn't be too bad. These fatiguey matchups aren't exactly our favorite. Oh, yeah, we went the arcane through, huh? CP double D reacts here. Which, I mean, is a possibility with an Ira, but either way works. Oh yeah, brother. Let's take that out of their hand. And we got a card. Fuck yeah. We'll pass for now. It's kind of a mid-hand. Got a nice Deathly Whale setup though. We can output way more than that, so. Sitting here thinking, like, do we actually give a shit? Okay, yeah, I'll say this one's probably a better one, right? 5 go again? Yeah. We could stuff this guy's turn. That'd be kind of shit, right? I don't know how much value we would get off that. It's hard to say though, right? I mean, he's got an arsenal, so it's not like we're denying him that. Yeah. That's here. Oh yeah, fuck, forgot about that. Oh well. Be okay. Iris don't convert to their hands too well, so didn't really do anything here. Sketch. me wants to hold on to the Deathly Whale, but I kind of want to see what he's got in his hand. You know, let's see it. If it's worth it, he'll block. There we go. That was worth it to me. Now we could theoretically block with our whole hand here and be fine. That's good by the looks of things. Really threatening masks on me. Do I care? I mean, I like this hand. It really puts out a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm gonna let it hit because I have for science. I want to see what's going on here. Yeah. See if he lets any of this leak through. If he does, we're fine. Sweet. Break the combat chain. Reapers. Deadwood Dirge. And away we go. This usually, hopefully we'll steal some tempo and we get a decent fucking hand next. This'll do. Pop this. Pop this. Sonata. Sure. good. Let's see if they try to steal it again. Let's see what we can do here. It's a matter of stealing tempo in this matchup from them. If you can do that and still present meaningful turns to follow up, like, I think you just win this. Now the Iris gonna be forced to take it and try and retaliate and see if we can put back some. He did have a decent hand lead, so there is that, or a decent life lead, so I mean there is that. But okay, so we got a widespread destruction turn with a beseech going on. Animalific incantation. We can keep the spellbound around, but it's almost wonder if it's worth blocking with it. So I'm not pressured to do it, because this matchup she will eventually get me with. I think we'll hold on here. Okay, we're taking good objects here. She's going to want an arsenal, because she's going to want a 5-card hand to try and push over on me and force cards out of my hand. It's kind of a race right now. Yeah, buddy, that Sonata last turn was fucking beautiful. Oh, that's weird. Oh, this is the mask trigger, isn't it? I mean, we'll let them have it. It's sure they're drawing cards, but it's not worth it to me. They don't, like I said, they don't convert their hand well. I'm gonna push a big turn on them, so jeez, another one? I mean, I guess this is the last one, so whatever. What did this damage really amount to for the turn? Like, honestly. Oh, okay. No. Alright. I guess this one just wants to be aggressive as fuck. Okay, well, that makes things a little easier for me. Won't have the tunic. So we'll block with this. 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 Which is alright, because we're going to push pretty hard on this turn. It did all the fucking damage, but like, or they presented that huge turn, but what did it do? Like 7? Oh, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. It just didn't seem like a lot. Yeah, it's not compared to what I'm throwing back anyway. This guy's just letting me hang on to my creepers. This is crazy business. So Kadachi, and then whatever the fuck is in his hand. Sure, I'll take him on. Yep, we'll take 2. CNC, boy, can't say I didn't see that shit coming. I think this is a relatively simple turn, right? Like, we'll block here, here, and here. I don't think I'll need the creepers again in this matchup where it's such a low life total. And me pushing on him's plenty. This bad boy. We're gonna gain it back, so fuck it. Okay, that's strange. I mean, I guess it is in there, huh? Alright, so let's do this. What? Why are they not blocking this? You know, I was gonna flail, but I almost feel like I should just leave this shit alone now. And just accept that I pushed all this damage on him. Yeah, man, I'll gain that. Fuck it. Reasonably push on us a CNC or something. Because we're gonna blow up this. We'll see what's going on here. Sensor, huh? Even though that on it does literally nothing to us, because what are they gonna fucking name? Let's go time, baby. 14. I know they got another blue. It's a fucking Ira deck. Yo, this is crazy business. What? does his hand just block for shit? Like, what is going on here? Oh, I see. You're just kind of a mid hand. Further setup. Well, good game. It's been fun. Trying not to be a tool, but I didn't know if that was going to go differently or not.
Hey Royals, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for more gameplay content.